how to record yourself when nobody else will help you and make it look cinematic. Recording yourself and making it look more cinematic doesn't have to be the most complicated thing in the world, and oftentimes it only takes very few simple things to take an average shot to the level of cinematic. Honestly, recording yourself in a more cinematic way only comes down to a few essential things to me, and they make all of the difference from an average video with average shots to a good video with cinematic looking shots. And one of those things that I love to mess around with a lot is lighting. And you have your normal techniques to light yourself: 2-point lighting, 3-point lighting, or even 1-point lighting if you want to get dramatic. But what I mean is stylistic color choice and accent or practical lights like you see behind me. I've got a teal and orange look with these lights because orange and teal is one of my favorite color schemes to follow. And just adding these lights randomly in a shot somewhere just adds a bit of atmosphere and something a little extra to keep people watching, as opposed to a blank, boring bookshelf with no lighting on it and just my face. It makes a world of difference when you have really good lights and really cool lights. It makes a world of difference to make it look cinematic. You know, filming yourself in a cinematic way doesn't have to be very difficult. I came outside at a park, just kind of set up with sundown, and it does the trick for at least a decent shot. So it doesn't take a whole lot. Take, for instance, even this shot right here, just this setting. You know, it's at a weird little gazebo thing by the river. It's supposed to be sundown, but it got cloudy as soon as I got here, so I missed the epic golden hour zone because of the clouds. But it's still something, right? I've gotten like 3 or 4 different angles by now, and they all add up to something better than a stagnant, weird looking generic shot. It adds a little bit of flavor, something good enough to change it up, make you stick out, and that's kind of the main thing with cinematic looks. It's different, and it creates some sort of contrast and dramaticism that would otherwise not be there with automatic settings in a very basic environment. So try a few different things. You know, it may not work out the way you think. It may not always turn out good or cinematic, but at least you tried and you learned something from it. Most of the cool cinematic shots that you see in any film or video are going to be found through trial and error, and once those are established, other people start to copy it. So try to recreate shots that you find really cool or interesting in other movies and films and videos, and start to try to come up with your own to differentiate yourself from everybody else. And again, just try different things. That's the biggest thing that people don't do. They're too afraid to try, too afraid to get out, get around people, be out in public, doing any kind of filmmaking. You just got to get over it at a certain point and just do it. You can't progress if you don't try. So see, one of my favorite things to do is to come out near sunset, near sundown, to get natural, cool looking light wherever I can find it. You know, it's direct sunlight here and an angle here, but you get a lot of dramatic looks, especially if I stand behind it like this. You know, like, it's direct sunlight, it's not any kind of crazy lighting setup, but you can do a lot with just that big old thing in the sky there. And again, you just got to come out and kind of experiment with it and see what you can come up with, because you never know what kind of cool shot you might find if you try, you know. So at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is, in order to film yourself and make it look cinematic, you have to do things by yourself. Like, you have to get out and actually record something. You can't just sit at home and complain that you don't get the chance to record anything because you don't have buddies to help you. Like, this is about being self-sufficient, having autonomy with your creativity. Yes, it is amazing to have people help you create things, and a lot of times you can achieve better results when you have a few extra hands to help you get those results. However, there is a certain sense of self-fulfillment that comes with doing this on your own. Filming yourself, editing it yourself, figuring out the shots yourself, making everything look good on your own. There's something interesting about that. Definitely, I would love to have people helping me set stuff up because there's things that I could do with help that I can't do on my own. However, I do like the value of being able to do this on my own. Like, if I was dropped off in the middle of nowhere in some like weird forest, could I create cinematic videos for people to watch? That's how I kind of think about it. And they're not always going to be the most cinematic shots in the world because you're limited to a lot of different things. Yes, you can go buy motorized pan tilt heads and sliders and all sorts of fancy expensive gear, which I would love to have. But when it all comes down to you, your camera, and a tripod, what can you do with that? And a lot of times, constraint is what creates the most innovative and unique creativity in people. So having that pressure and the limitations usually helps people to thrive and break through and find cool and new things. So that's how I like to look at it. So to film yourself by yourself, you just have to do it. Suck it up, deal with it. Nobody's helping you. Just do it on your own. There's something special about creating something on your own. At least for me, there is. If you would like to see any videos that are on specific techniques or specific angles or movements or styles of recording yourself cinematically, let me know down in the comments and I can make a video that specifically addresses shots and shot types and stuff like that. But this is just more to get you up and out and creating. So if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next cinematic video.